Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Air Hauler with me, Herd 37. So I had some people fly our planes around to where there's some jobs. We have one in Mobile, and I had the other one flown up to Buffalo. And for this one, we're going to stay here in Mobile and fly over to our base in Midland. See, 64,824, a little more than we can technically carry, for full-on fuel. And it pays a decent amount, I guess, $291,000. Not that much compared to some of the other ones we've been flying. Not too bad. So we'll go and find our DC-8. Alright, so it'll be the beta cargo one. 90%. Go over there. 81 bucks. It's a little bit longer than 719. Good they didn't put fuel in it. I love that. I love how they don't do that. So much better than when they fill it up. Alright, so I'll put it right about there. I don't want too much. Day flight. We'll have to find somewhere. Hopefully they've got. They got some large. There's some cargo here. I think we'll try one of these cargos. Try this one right here. And we can go ahead and move over at the plane. All right, everybody, we're here at the plane. Beta cargo. Just go ahead and jump inside. Make sure the parking brake is on. It is. Alright, let's go over to the engineer's panel. And we'll put this in external power. AC-DC bus tie. Go ahead and set the fuel configuration. Release go up. This bottom. Up, bottom, bottom. Mid. Cabin supply. Turn the lights on that we need, and go ahead and hit Control E to get her started up. Autopilot servos, data, flight plans. We're looking for KMOB, KMAF. All right, activate and execute. Departures and arrivals. We're gonna take off on runway 14. So actually 15 on here. And arrive, got ILS on runway 10. Alright. I'm gonna go to perf and it. Reserves will say 5. In cruising altitude, we'll go to. Let's go to 36,000. We're pretty light. Shouldn't have any problem getting up there. Check out the legs here. Move that up. I'm kind of surprised because there's no sit or start or anything, so it's kind of weird to have that. But go over here and switch this into plan. Step through it. I need to see the end. It's kind of an odd way to come in, but you do have. The ending was over here, so you do have to come out or around like that. Alright, that back to map. Alright, just need engine fortifier. There goes. Set the altimeter, put on the flight director. Alright, so we're taking off on runway 14, so that's actually pretty good. Looks like we're right over here. Is that? I guess that's gotta be it. There's literally, like, nobody here. I was just checking that out. I've got airline density and general aviation density both at 100%, and there's just nobody here. I guess you gotta taxi onto the runway and go. I don't see any taxiways anywhere to go over there. That kind of sucks. I don't know if that one goes down all the way over there or not. I think that just goes to the runway, and you gotta take the runway over. We've been here before, I just don't really remember the airport that well. We actually flew a DC-8 in here, one of our first flights, I think. Alright, so that goes to Gen 4. There's the battery. Turn on the pitot heat. Alright, parking brake comes off, and we'll just push back. Head over to our runway. Never messed with any of those switches over there. Get those up. There she goes. I don't know why. It looked like she was rocking there for a second, like she couldn't move. Yeah, we never go over here. I don't think that any of these switches are actually red, white lights. It's not talking about the outside lights, is it? Yeah, we've got our red and green lights. Nav lights wouldn't be over there anyway. It's kind of a weird place for a helicopter to land. Yeah, I hope there's a place. Oh, okay, maybe. Oh no. Yeah, okay. I think we can go across. I think there is actually a. Yeah, it looks like there is a taxiway to go down to the end. All right. I say, if not, there's got to be a place for us to turn around at the very end. Guess we won't have to deal with any snow or anything. Looks like the weather should be pretty good. Although I guess we are down south, so you don't have to worry about snow so much. Now we've moved into March, although we do get some blizzards and stuff up towards the north in March. It's not uncommon at all. I think some of our biggest snow last year was actually in March. Did you see that flight director came off? I wonder why that is. I think that's happened several times before. Alright, it didn't get us to the yellow line, so we'll just go ahead and stop that. Put on our taxi lights. And go over to the runway. Get this thing in the air. It should be a fairly short flight. It was less than 800 miles or so. It shouldn't be that long. And the friction when this thing wants to turn is just ridiculous. It's not even registering that we're moving. It seemed like that worked for a while, unless I just didn't notice that it wasn't working, but it's been awkward lately. Really changing. Should have gone out a little further. Got that one too close. Get myself lined back up. Alright, 3214. Yeah, the other runway, that kind of the one going diagonal, was much, much shorter. Way too short. It's only for like a little small plane. See one down there. Nobody that way. Come on, old girl. Giddy up in that step. Why the view's really moved forward. See him coming back. I just really don't like that kind of head movement. I think there is a way to disable that in EZDok. You can go into the, but it's like deep into the settings, and it's like into the settings that I don't really understand. So I haven't tried to mess with that. Big burst coming. It's like the only way to get this thing to really turn. You taxi so slow, but when you go to turn, this thing just slows down so much. She didn't want to turn back for me. Get this set back up. Good lord. Right there is where we want her. It just feels like we're taxiing extremely fast. I'm gonna go ahead and put the flaps out to 18. Yeah, the speed thing, it doesn't really work anymore. Very odd. So I'm pretty sure it worked for like the longest time, but it doesn't seem to work anymore. It usually says we're going way faster than we are, but now it's going way slower than we are. I kind of want to take off the other end. We can fly directly out. That's all right. Look at her, almost coming to a complete stop on the turn without even using the brakes. Like I say, their TriStar had the same problem, but it was on straightaways. This thing doesn't want to turn for anything. Alright. We're finally at the runway. We'll take a look, make sure nobody's coming. See anybody. So we'll throw on the landing lights, throw on the strobe, and get on the runway. Maybe. I don't know. Alright, see if we can swing her around. Alright, we're lined up horribly, but it's so hard with this. It's so aggravating. Set the heading to the runway. Alright, move that out of the way. We'll go ahead and set this up as well. Get rid of that, and I'll go ahead and move this one over here. Alright, let's go ahead and get out of here. Go ahead and line up a little better. It's easier when we're just using a bunch of thrusts. It'll actually move for me. There we go. Alright. A little less than full power. Wow, the airspeed is really getting up. 140, we can go ahead and rotate. Look how fast that was. We're light, but daggum. Alright, pause the rate. Go ahead and put the gear up. Try and stay right there at 3,000 feet a minute. I'm going to pull back on the thrust a little bit. Retracting one notch of flaps. Alright, flaps are fully retracted. Pulling way back on the thrust. Oh, she's at 250 right there. My God. We're into the clouds, too. Blink too much. Man, that nose really got down. A little more thrust and get that nose back up. Just that speed. Guess we don't need any more thrust. Climbing at 3,000 feet a minute, and I've got my joystick at half. It's unbelievable, just the amount of thrust. I have to pull back even more. Just flying blind. That nose keeps dropping real bad. a little more settled there. And we're getting out of the clouds. The speed is dropping a lot more now. Give it just a little more thrust. Bank her a little more. I was a little afraid to bank it too much in the clouds when I couldn't see anything. Now see, she's getting too fast again. Alright. Time for the autopilot. I'll put it in the heading. Very quickly move that so she doesn't go falling out of the sky. Probably is, yeah. I don't know why she wants to descend right as soon as we put it on. We use the heading because I know the nav won't work right away. We got to get it, I think, pointed more at the waypoint before it'll actually work. Just trying to get settled. There, stop right there. Why is it? It's going up and down. Thing is getting odd today. Let's see, it looks like it's gonna hold now. I don't know why she didn't want to hold that first time. It banked way up, then way down, and then way back. It's odd, very odd. That's, I guess, how this plane is sometimes. Not as easy to fly today. I had a lot more problems. I think we got it going good now. Really was frustrated with the speed today. Couldn't quite keep her under 250. It's so light and everything. Let's take a look outside. I don't know what this area is. It's probably not Mobile anymore. Pretty good to me. Alright. Let's bring up the FMC. 1832 is where we would have been over here. 1832. So less than 3 hours. And we're going to pick up a ton of speed. We're cruising. I can go ahead and knock this down to 2,000 feet a minute. Alright. Well, we're well on our way now, so I'll go ahead and speed it up. I guess I'll keep that up. And I'll be back in just a little bit. Alright everybody, just slowing it down here. As you can see, we're right at 9,200 feet. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map. Get our ILS frequency, also the elevation, because I think we are fairly high up. Yeah, 2,800 feet. Alright, so runway 10 is going to be 110.3. 110.3, that's actually already there. Yeah, 110.3. Alright. Unless we got some rain. At least we're out of the clouds. Hopefully we'll be able to see fairly well. 240 knots. Move the range down. I'm not sure exactly. It looks like we're going to come in just fine. Because either way, I'm not sure which way we're going, but either way, we should have a decent run at the runway. Decent approach. Can't really see the runway from here. But the landing lights and everything are on, so we're good with that. I don't really like the way that we're coming in. I don't know why would. I don't know. I guess that's just how they do it. This kind of seems kind of pointless to go up and around when you could just come up this way, but whatever. Actually, I was looking over here for the runway, but it is obviously up front. I think I actually saw a flash just a second ago. But at least this is being on the glide slope, and then we got all this 4,900, 4,900, 4,900. And then that'll be, I know 4,900, and the elevation of the runway is what, 2,800. Yeah, everything isn't extremely dense, by the way. And general aviation and commercial are both at 100% on the traffic. General aviation I always have at 100%. We just don't hear much. We don't use the radios that much either. That's why. Kind of weird that we already get down to 4,900 because we just basically just stay there. I was going to speed it up, but we're going to slow down here in a second. I guess we're going to go over the town, which is another reason that's very odd that we do the approach like that. Getting airplanes flying over your town. Whoops, wrong way. See if we can't get it to stop. She's going up a little bit actually. Get her to descend a little bit. 170 feet. Come on. I'm gonna come down ever so slightly. Can't see her. Once it's 180 knots, I don't know. Seems a little bit slow. "60 feet. We won't be able to get her to stay right at 4,900. Plus it's 4,900 or above, so you know what, we'll just go ahead. Because we absolutely won't be able to just maintain right at 4,900. When we cruise at like 3,600, we actually cruise at 36,000. We usually go like 36,000, 10, 20, 30, something like that. See, it doesn't really like to hold the altitude. Put a little more thrust in her. See, she's coming down. I don't... Get her to climb back up a little bit. Alright, we'll actually go ahead and speed her up a little bit. Alright, she's holding fairly well for this plane. Small airports. Slow down a little bit. I don't know why we're all of a sudden accelerating. That turn is kind of ridiculous. We'll probably have to take manual control. Because it's just too sharp of a turn. That'll never work. It doesn't matter which way we go. Yeah, alright, so I guess we come out that way. She's struggling to keep altitude. Probably have to slow her down to normal speed here in a second also, because of that turn. Might as well just do a big looping turn around. Come on, girl. Yeah, it's like, it takes you so far away from the airport. I guess you don't really come over to the town. Kind of bypass the town, actually. In fact, what I'm going to do is hold that to normal. Yeah, just have her turn. Trying to look, that doesn't look like it says Farley. I don't know what world that is. Runway heading is 105. I don't know if this is going to continue on that path or not. It does say it's 16 miles away. Kind of surprised that it says 4,900 feet. I guess that would be, what, 2,100 feet above the runway. Alright, there's the runway right there. Alright, so we'll take us right to Farley and then right to the runway, so that's alright. Says we're right on the glide slope, although that's to 4,900, so it would be. On that ILS, I think we're still too far out to be able to get it. Because, I mean, we're still 14 miles away from Farley, and then we got more to go to the runway. You see, we're right at 20 miles. I think, what is the maximum ILS you can usually pick up? Like 12 miles or something? So I don't think we should be able to get it. I don't see it coming up on here. We do have it tuned, 110.3. Put out one notch of flaps. It's maybe 7 or 8 miles after Farley is going to be the airport, the runway. right at 5,000 feet. Coming down a little bit. Their speed is dropping big time. One notch of flaps would have slowed us down that much. Move the range down. We are really fighting that wind. It doesn't look like the wind is that bad, but it certainly has us over there. I really hate landing in these crosswinds. I'm just not good at it, especially with these big planes. They get pushed over so easily. Still don't have the ILS, although it would say left and a high, and it is a left end above us. Looks like it's maybe 15 miles now. She's flying to the left, but she's still getting... She should get over now, because now instead of being a crosswind, it's actually a tailwind into the right. Just be about in range of the ILS now. I'll let it go just a little further, because that's the 10-mile range, so I want to make sure we're at least 12 miles within it. Plus it's still showing that the glide slope is above us. Alright, we're getting close. Maybe 11, close to 12. I'll do it at about the 10-mile marker. The only thing is she might try to climb on us. I really want that glide slope to drop. Because of that, I'm kind of scared to go ahead and engage it. She's got 2,100 feet and 10 miles. So I'll let it go just a little bit further until that glide slope starts to drop, either there or here. Don't need that anymore. Because if it starts to climb on us, then when it comes down, we're going to end up way too high as it tries to pitch down. Alright, she's coming down a little now. That's good. Ever so slowly. ILS. Gears coming down. Man, she's really pitching down ridiculously. Flaps are going to 18. Alright, she's coming back. More flaps. Have a pretty low landing speed, maybe 120 or so. Alright, you can see the lights here, I do believe. Better be. More flaps. We're a little below the glide slope, which is off to the right. But we do have to compensate for that wind, so she will slow up to the left. A little more flaps, a little more thrust with the flaps coming out. Alright, we are at full flaps. I like our speed for the most part. We're about 1,000 feet. Just engage the autopilot in just a second. Really would like to get out of that cloud. Alright, plane is mine. Coming in nicely, getting blown over to the right. Just what we expected. Plane controls feel really stiff, I gotta say. I know she's getting high, but man, I feel with that speed and getting so low, it feels ridiculous. Trying to swing her back left. Oh, got way to the right. A little too far to the left now. Oh, geez, bounced her. Man, look at how she just wants to go. It's like we're just sliding to the right ever so gently. At 40 knots. Is how we landed last time. Exactly like that. It was terrible. Yeah, I can't land crosswinds with this plane. I'm just not talented enough. I know the last few landings have actually been the worst. I think when I was a rookie at this plane, I actually was landing it better. Well, I'm not sure that we dealt with these winds and conditions. Yeah, even when we touched down, it just seemed like it was just floating. Floating to the right. Ever so slowly at 40 knots. It was like, are we gonna get blown off the runway or what? Yeah, I was having trouble getting lined up too. Floating right and left. Let's see, I really shouldn't go to the gates. That one's taken, that one's taken. I might have to go to the gates. Maybe if there's one right here, I might be able to take that. Let's turn on the taxi lights. Oops, that was the taxi light. Keep forgetting those. I don't know why. Why I keep forgetting the lights in this plane. There we go. It's all taken care of. Looks like we're gonna have to go to the gates. I don't see any more parking spaces. There should be. Seems like we always fly the big birds into Midland. Remember, we flew the 707 here at least once, maybe several times. I think we had the 747 here. We got the DC-8 here. I think this was the first place we ever flew the Airbus to as well, although the Airbus isn't really that big a plane. Please just be one parking space right here. Yes, there is. Just Just wanted to make sure I got away from the other planes. Just trying to add thrust in those turns. Man, you gotta turn back. I don't know why she keeps doing that. It's harder to get her turned back around. It's like when you do a big turn like that, she gets unresponsive when she's coming back at first. And then struggling with that too. Alright, we'll stop her right here. Parking brake is on. Autopilot servos are off. Those are off. We'll go... make sure that says external power. Nope, it's the middle. AC/DC bus tie. Alright, taxi lights are off. Pitot heat. Go ahead and cut the fuel to the engines. Yeah, we damaged her too. I can't remember if we damaged... I think we did damage one on a landing before, so it's our second time. Cut the fuel. All these switches can come up. I'm back. There we go. Alright, let's go over to Air Hauler and get paid. Alright, here, yeah, it looks like 1%. It's ain't quite positive. I would thought we would have done more damage than 1%. So even with that 1%, we still made money on the flight. It was only, what, 159,000? Or maybe it was a couple 100,000. But 1%, it isn't going to be that costly. I don't even know what that is. Labindes Geflugel. I'll check it out. Google Translate. Thank you. Should we eventually close? Come on. There we go. Let's just check that. Yeah, it was, no, that's, yeah, 90. So it went down 1%. That's not too bad. We've actually made quite good money in this plane. Hell, that last one, wasn't it like $2 million or something I think we got paid? I think some of the damage on one of the planes, at least, was from one of our other pilots moving the plane for us. Yeah, 288, so 1%, we still made money. I would have liked to not have damaged it, but I guess it wasn't as bad coming down. I tried to actually keep the thrust up this time. It seems like we keep landing a little too slow. So I tried to keep the speed around 120 or so. I kind of lost track of it, I gotta admit. Just trying to concentrate on going left, right, left, right, left, right. Trying to get lined up. There's a different Montreal. Pays a lot of money. We have a lot of time to do it. Good distance. This one even pays even more. Sleepy Eye? Oh, we can't. Yeah, we can't land on 2,500. But how can you put 93,000 pounds to an airport that has grass landing strips? Like, what plane? How many planes can land there? And you'd have to take so many trips. Kind of ridiculous. KDPA in Chicago? I've never heard of that one. So, yeah, if we fly Midland next, it would have to be to that Montreal. Mirabel. It's got long runways. Because we our other plane's up here in Buffalo. Oh, that would be a fun flight. Ah, daggone it. I don't have time. Because I like Charlotte. Not sure why I like it so much, but I do like Charlotte. None of these pay all that well. But by tomorrow, I'm sure it'll regenerate some jobs, though. Because it did that today, and I actually had all my AI pilots, all the 747s and MD-11s flew today. I had to have slowed down so much on the AI pilots, but I had them all going today, and we do have a pretty good amount of money. 2.4 billion. I want to get up to 2.5. But anyway, that's going to be it for this episode, everybody. I hope you all did enjoy it. I'll catch you guys on the next flight.